Hey, Journey Church family, some exciting news. Steve and Rebecca Young are grandparents, and so we celebrate with you guys. Rebecca this week sings Come Thou Fount, and as you think about how that song opens up, Come Thou Fount of every blessing, daily I'm constrained to be. It's just a reminder that God is the giver of all good gifts, and what just a flowing fountain of blessing that He is. And certainly that includes grandchildren. So Steve and Rebecca, congratulations. We're so happy for you guys. And the other exciting news is that we as a church are looking at June 7th as a possible Sunday to return. I say possible because it's very much a fluid situation. About a month ago, Governor Kemp relayed his plans to open back up the state. And from that point, things seem to be going in the right direction. However, if things took a turn for the worst, we would reevaluate our plan, and so that date might change. But right now, we're looking like we're in the clear to start meeting again June 7th. And here's some things you need to know as we plan to come back together as a church. It won't look exactly the same. While the main thing will be the main thing, and that is celebrating the worth and beauty of Jesus and proclaiming the gospel that He saves and forgives sinners, that will always be there. But some of the peripheral things will be different. For example, before you enter the building, we're going to ask you to use hand sanitizer. And you might roll your eyes and say, oh, this is ridiculous. This has been way overblown, or this has just been used for media or political fodder. Well, whatever your opinion is, the truth is that it's real, and we need to consider others more important than we consider ourselves. And so one way we're going to do that is just by good hygiene. And so we're going to ask you to use hand sanitizer that we'll provide before you come in the door. We're going to ask that you be considerate of other people's personal space. And one way we'll do that is by expanding the seating at Journey. Typically there's 36 inches between our rows. We're extending that to 72 inches. There will be 6 feet between each row. And so we'll have some distancing going on there. We're not going to be able to have a nursery immediately as we come back. 3-year-olds just don't understand and don't do well with social distancing and personal space. And so all the families will be upstairs together. And we like to call it a beautiful noise at Journey. When a kid is being a kid, let's be gracious, let's be considerate, let's be compassionate towards that, and just endure a kid who's throwing a fit, a kid who's having a good time, a baby that's hungry, whatever the case may be, we're a family. And so let's consider when we hear our children being children that we are thankful for that noise. I remember pastoring First Baptist Fort Valley as on an interim basis, and there were times where you didn't hear a lot of noise, and it was sad at times. And so we consider it a beautiful noise. So no nursery when we come back, no breakfast like we've had. Now we can put out some Nature Valley bars and things like that, and we will have coffee, but it won't be self-serve. There will be somebody serving the coffee for us wearing a mask. And so no breakfast time like we had at 10 o'clock. We're also going to ask that when you go to use the facilities, use the restrooms, that you use the Clorox wipes that will be provided in every stall. And we just need you to wipe down everything you've touched, from the handle to the seat to the sink to the faucet to the door handles, everything that you come in contact with. If you would, please use the Clorox wipe that you'll see in the bathroom. So these are just a few of the plans that we're implementing as we plan on returning. And so it's going to be a little bit different, but again, what we come together to do hasn't changed, and that is to celebrate the resurrection. Over the last 10 months that we have, 10 weeks that we haven't met as a church, and by the time we do meet again, it'll be 12 weeks that we haven't met. Here's some of the things that I've noticed. I've been told personally by friends and people at Journey the simple phrase, hey, I love you. Hey, I miss you. I've never been told more times I love you and I miss you in the past 10 weeks than I have, I don't know, my entire life. And it's really been wonderful. 1 Corinthians 8:1 says that love builds up. Love strengthens the church. And if you've noticed that as we've been away, perhaps we've realized just how much we do care for one another and how much we actually love one another. And it's been verbalized over and over. And if you haven't had the opportunity to do so, then I would challenge you to express that to someone. Hey, I've missed worshiping with you. I've missed seeing you. I just want you to know how much I love you and your family, and I can't wait for us to be back together again soon. Love strengthens the church. Also, we're told in 1 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 2, that love is greater than knowledge. The way the verse says it is that knowledge puffs up, but love builds up. And so there's going to be people with different spectrums of how they feel about coming back together by June 7th. There will be some people who will say, well, what took you so daggone long? And then there will be others who might feel, I don't know, this might seem a little early. Perhaps we should be more cautious. Let's be considerate to all people on the sides of the spectrums. Love builds up the church. 1 Corinthians 10:24 says that we should seek the good of others. And so I think as we look around our community, I think we have been doing that and we will continue to do that. And so no matter where churches begin to meet again, whether it's been in previous weeks or next week or like us on June 7th, let's just be a people who are willing to seek the good of others and to consider others more important than we consider ourselves. One thing we have to be ready for too is the reality that even if we are able to meet June 7th, there is a very real possibility that if someone were to get sick, that we would have to shut down again for a few weeks, do a deep cleaning, make sure that no one else contracts COVID-19, and then make a new plan from there. I want to thank the elders at Journey. I want to thank Kelly Wilson, who's really been a sounding board for these decisions made. Before the summertime, we were just following the example of the school board, but once we hit summertime, then we kind of lost that beacon as a guide or a matrix to make these decisions through. So Kelly's been really great helping us work through the logistics of how we need to clean, how we need to distance ourselves, how we can meet back together again. And then I also appreciate the church as a whole, your patience and understanding this. This has been a very unique, difficult time. It's a completely different rhythm than I'm used to. And that's proven by the fact that I'm sending this message from a bathroom pantry closet. That's a first for me, not preparing sermons, but delivering a sermon, I guess. Journey Church, I cannot wait to be together again. Will it be different? Yes. But will it be good? Yes. And the reason it'll be good is because Jesus is there and he's worthy. And so let's continue to endure just a few more weeks. And as more information is learned, we'll relay it. But we'll be circling June 7th, 10:30 at Journey Church for our first service back together in 12 weeks. So I love you. I hope this video finds you well. Thank you guys. Thank you, Kelly, for doing our call to worship. Thank you, MT, for doing the assurance that fit well from the beach, knowing that God's thoughts and his love towards us is greater than the sands on the seashore. And what a good reminder about being dumped a bucket of sand on your head. And thank you, Michael Slappy, for our benediction. It's a blessing for the road. And so I hope this video finds you well, and I hope your week to come is one filled with honoring Jesus and proclaiming the good news that he is alive. I love you, church, and God bless.